If you want to try a delicious butternut squash soup, I've got the recipe for you. Now, I've made this before on another video, but that video is pretty long. So if you're interested in seeing more of the details about how I made this, you'll have a link to it in the description box below, or click the little I in the upper right hand corner. But in this video, I'm going to make it a lot faster. So let's get started making it. We're going to start off with a butternut squash, about medium size, and I slice off the ends and then I cut it in half lengthwise after scoring it. I just leave the seeds in it as they are, and I place them cut side down on a nonstick baking pan, but the ickiest pan I have, and I pour about a half a cup of water in the pan. Then I'm going to roast it for 45 minutes at 350 degrees. And I suggest you check the water level about every 15 minutes, because if the water's getting low, just add a little bit. Then you're going to take it out of the oven and let it cool completely. Now, you can also do this the day before. You don't have to do it right before you make the soup. Next, you're going to remove the seeds and peel the squash. Now, I like to cut the squash into slices and then just use a small knife and remove the peel from it. Now, you're only going to need 3 cups of mashed squash. So what you're going to do is put some in a bowl and mash it just coarsely. It doesn't have to be real fine. And then measure 3 cups and set it aside. Now, in a saucepan that's at least 6 quarts or a soup pan, you're going to heat the oil and add chopped onion, a chopped shallot, chopped ginger, and I like to do just a half of a jalapeno, but if you like a full one, you can add a full one. And then some salt and pepper. And I'm going to cook that over medium-high heat until the onion starts to get soft and the onion just starts to turn light brown. I'd say about 10 minutes. Now we're going to add a couple pears that have been peeled and cored and cook that for another 5 minutes. After that, we're going to measure those 3 cups of cooked squash and add that to the saucepan, and immediately we're going to put in some broth. Now, you can use either vegetable broth or chicken broth, either way, and add some honey, some thyme, dried thyme in this case, and now we're ready to go. And just give it a stir, and now I'm going to increase the heat and bring it to a boil. Once the soup boils, I'm going to reduce the heat until it's simmering and then cover it and cook with the cover on for 15 minutes. After that 15 minutes is up, I'm going to puree it in batches in a blender. Now, you don't want to put too much in at a time just because it's really hot, but blend it up on low or medium speed. And then after you do that, return the soup to the saucepan. And you don't want to boil it now, just keep it at just below a simmer. Now, I have one other tip. I make ahead and freeze the soup all the time. But if you freeze it, then once you defrost it, it'll look a little weird, but just put it back in the blender and turn on the blender for a few seconds and it'll be fine. This is such a delicious soup and so easy to make. Some other recipes, they cut the squash up ahead of time. You don't really need to do that, but it's such a satisfying soup all fall and all winter long and into spring. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe. Appreciate your time, and check out some of my other videos. Click in the little eye in the upper right hand corner or click one of the 2 images on the right side of your screen. Bye.